Hey, how's it going everyone? Tazen here, today bringing some awesome and special JRPG and Japanese gaming news. Kicking things off firstly with the Dot Hack series. So today, November 3rd, marks the international 1-year anniversary for Dot Hack GU Last Recode. The game was also released 2 days prior on November 1st in Japan, marking that day the Japanese 1-year anniversary. But to celebrate this anniversary, they have released some really cool information and things around the Dot Hack GU Last Recode series. So firstly, Dot Hack GU Last Recode has officially sold over 300,000 copies over the previous year. That is fantastic for a game that is quite a niche series, and furthermore a series that has been remastered from over 10 years ago. This is fantastic. I love seeing that this game has a fan base out there and an audience, and hopefully this allows them to make some more games in the future, whether they be remasters or remakes of the original series or even new games going forward. I'm really excited for this, but also to celebrate this 1-year anniversary, various artists and people at CC2 have been illustrating some shishiki artworks of some of the characters from the game. So firstly, just going over some that have been released to date. Here's the first one. This is Haseo, and this was illustrated by Hiroshi Matsuyama, who is both the president of CyberConnect 2 and also the director of the original Dot Hack game series and the Dot Hack GU series. Moving on to the next image, here is one of Azure Kite, which was illustrated by Miyoshi. Then we have one of Aura holding a Chim Chim, which was illustrated by Higashi. Next, we have an illustration of Kusabira, who you may know from the newly released Volume 4, which was exclusive to Last Recode. This was illustrated by Nyazat. Then we have another one of Aseo. This is him in his fourth form, which is illustrated by Anakui. We then have an illustration of Ovan from his appearance in Volume 4. This was illustrated by Hoshitoshi. Moving on, we also have one of Adali, which was illustrated by Nishimura Hisashi. And then most recently, we have an illustration of Haseo in his fifth form, illustrated by Seiichiro Hosokawa, who is a very well-known and renowned artist for the Dot Hack series. And I absolutely love Seiichiro Hosokawa's artwork. It's fantastic. They released a series of artwork by him every day in the last month leading up until the release of Dot Hack GU Last Recode, and they were phenomenal. But lastly, going back to the original Shikishi of Haseo illustrated by Hiroshi Matsuyama, he wrote a really awesome message. Now, I found a translation by Reka Alexia on File Sanctuary. I'll leave a link to her translation below. She does some really awesome translations for Dot Hack related stuff, as well as Nier, Dragon Guard, and other related series. So going on to what he said, "That's right, it's already been a year. Worldwide sales have exceeded 300,000 copies. It's all thanks to the fans. Thank you. So, we're gonna start a giveaway. Congratulations, Dot Hack GU Last Recode, 1-year anniversary and 300,000 sales. CyberConnect 2 Representative Director Matsuyama Hiroshi." So this giveaway that they have announced is a giveaway of the Shikishi artwork. So in terms of how to enter, you can enter by liking and retweeting these artworks, and basically the winner will be drawn from a lottery. Deadlines close on the 15th of November, so if you're interested in entering this competition and you have Twitter, feel free to like and retweet these artworks and maybe you might win. Next, moving on to Fumito Ueda. So he is the creator of Ico, Shadow of the Colossus and The Last Guardian. Now him and his studio Gen Design recently revealed information in an issue of Famitsu that they are working on their next game, and this is some awesome information. So just going over some translated quotes of what he said. He said, "We're in a stage of various trials. This stage we're in, where we're actually making our ideas to test if they're interesting or not, is being supported by Kowloon Knights, a game fund, so we're proceeding with prototyping." So it appears maybe they're not working with Sony on this next game, so it'll be interesting to see how this game develops along the tracks. He also said, "We're working out the core parts first, and from there we'll make it into a stable product. That's our challenge this time." He also said, "What we're making now doesn't feel like an indie game. We're ultimately aiming for something on the scale of Ico, Shadow of the Colossus, and The Last Guardian. If larger scale development becomes of interest to us, then I think we will significantly expand our development system and take it to a large scale development team to make it a big game. And lastly, this will be a completely new title, not a sequel." This is awesome. So keep in line with the previous games of Fumito Ueda. They were all completely new titles with shared world aspects, sort of alluding to that they all take place in the same world. It is confirmed that Ico and Shadow of the Colossus take place in the same world, which you can find more details about in The Last Guardian and Extraordinary Story art and guidebook. But there were also hints that The Last Guardian also takes place in the same world. Again, these may all take place in different times, in very different parts of the world. So hopefully this will have some of that shared world elements and will also be something that takes place in this mysterious world in some other part of it to give us a brand new story and perspective. But it's really interesting because back on January 2nd, Gen Design Studio released a New Year 2018 message alongside an image. Now this image alludes to it potentially being the next game that they're working on. So you can see it seems to be in some dark sort of hallway or open room with a girl standing on a concrete slab. This is sort of somewhat reminiscent of Shadow of the Colossus. Now this girl is white and glowing, and you can see she's looking upwards at what appears to be a large colossal figure. So of this figure we can only see its arm sort of leading up to potentially the shoulder. We can see it has 5 fingers, so maybe this will be some form of humanoid character. And we've also seen one image here looking down at the girl, so it could be that this is an image from the eyes of this humanoid figure. So it'll be interesting to see how this game will be. Will it be another game where again there is a companion element to it, this girl and this colossal figure, and what is the relation of this colossal figure elements wise to the previous games? So I'm really excited for this, and the Fumito Ueda games are one of my favorite series, so it's fantastic to see that they're working on the next game, and it'll be interesting to learn more about the story as time goes on and also learn more about how they're developing it, if not with Sony anymore. Moving on to God Eater 3. So we recently got a brand new English trailer for God Eater 3. It was both a story and gameplay trailer, and in this trailer they revealed the Western English release date for the game. So the game is releasing on February 8th, 2019, which is only 2 months after the Japanese release date, which is December 13th of this year. This is really awesome. So this game is coming out on both PS4 and PC. It's good to see that it's releasing not too far in the future from the Japanese release. Again, I know people would like simultaneous worldwide releases, but there is extra work that goes into localizing a game, especially while the game is being developed. I'm sure there are changes have to be made. There's a lot involved which I don't fully understand, but that's really exciting. What's interesting is the first quarter of 2019 is quite a very busy part of the year with some awesome games coming out. We've got Code Vein, we have Kingdom Hearts 3, we've got Devil May Cry 5 coming sort of later on in that first quarter, among many other games. So it'll be interesting to see how well this game fares. It's more of a niche game, but it was great that they re-released the remastered versions of 1 and 2 on the PlayStation 4, which were also cross-compatible on the Vita as well, so that was fantastic. Again, I'm really excited for this game, and I hope it does really well. And next, moving on to some more news regarding the upcoming Tokyo Ghoul game for PS4 called Tokyo Ghoul Recode to Exist. We've gotten some more information and screenshots of some of the characters in the game. This time specifically the Kink Squad. So here we've just got some images firstly of Hayasuke Sasaki. We can see him wielding his Quinky in these images. There's no images here of him using his Kagane, but we've seen that in the previous trailer. Next we've got Kuki Yuri. We've got Yuri wielding his Kinky, as well as some awesome images of him fighting with his Kagane. Now moving on to Toru Mitsuki, we can see her wielding her spear Quinky, as well as her wielding a knife. And if you've read the manga, you know she has some deadly knife skills there, rivaling Juzo Suzuya, so it'll be awesome to play with different styles with her. But then moving on to Shirazu, we can see him wielding his Kinky at close range, as well as him using his Kagane at long distance, shooting elements of it at the enemies. Now moving on to Saiko Yonebayashi, who I absolutely love as a character, and she's a phenomenal character who has quite a punch. So here we can see her wielding her Kinky, as well as her Kagane, which is shaped somewhat of a centipede in this, which is interesting. But one of her incredible skills is her ability to manipulate her Kagane into different shapes and forms, so it'll be really interesting to play as her and see how effective she can be as a player. This game is currently scheduled to release in Japan in winter. It will be releasing in North America and Europe at a later time, but there's currently no release date for yet. Hopefully we get that information soon, but I'm really excited to play this. And lastly, moving on to some Fate Extella news. So this is a game that is a follow-up to the Fate Extella The Umbral Star, which was released in 2016 and 2017 across different regions. Now this game was already announced to be releasing on PlayStation 4 and Vita, as well as on the Switch in Japan, but they revealed that the Switch is also getting localized in the West, and the game will be getting a PC release worldwide as well, so that was a brand new reveal. Now Xseed have also revealed that the Nintendo Switch version will be getting the Fleeting Glory Edition. So if you don't know much about the Fleeting Glory Edition, it includes a soundtrack CD, includes a 17-inch by 24-inch cloth poster, includes a pack of 10 collectible 3-inch by 5-inch cards of the new servants in the game, as well as a 3-inch by 4.5-inch acrylic diorama featuring 3 of the main servants in the game. Now according to this article by RPG site, the Nintendo Switch version will also include 3 chibified costumes for Nero, Tamamo, and Altera. So it's awesome to see that the Nintendo Switch version is getting this too. It'll be interesting to see if, like the PlayStation 4 version, will that be a downloadable content or will that be included on the cartridge? Anyways, I'll leave it at that. Let me know your thoughts on anything discussed below. Again, happy anniversary to .hackgu last Recode. If you don't already know, .hackgu series is one of my favorite series, and it's one I've been playing for about 13 years or so now, basically ever since the first .hack game released in the West. So I'm really excited to see how well it's done. And yeah, anyways, thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and until next video, stay spot on.